Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We are here. We're technically on time, technically late. Depends on the listing. Apologies, guys. I booked the stream on the old software earlier on, and basically, if you book it somewhere else, you can't activate it somewhere else. So I'm really sorry for any of you guys. Some of you might actually, if you're watching this maybe on Rewind, maybe you're still lost in cyberspace in the wrong stream. I've tried to delete it and such, but I don't know if it would straight out kick you out. But anyway, welcome, Sorare scouts and managers from around the world that will be joining us for the deadline as we welcome back the Serie A and the Bundesliga on top of the rest of Champion Euro that joined the party last week. And as ever, for the deadline stream, I'm joined by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah, thank you for having me back. And yeah, mate, even bigger than last week, technically on paper. Well, maybe not for you guys because Scottish Cup, isn't it, this weekend?
Yes.
So yeah, for the rest of us, bigger. For you guys, maybe not, unfortunately.
Yeah, so no Celtic, no Scottish League, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit of everything. And I don't mind these game weeks, Harry, from that perspective, being, one of those players that was quite strong, like with teams from one league. No matter what league you specialise in, it'll have its own little break that falls out of sync with probably the greater good of the game, if you get me. So, I like these little windows to kind of really flesh out the rest of the club and just see if they don't have a game or if they became bad or if these players were no longer useful, what do I actually have going on elsewhere? So I'm quite excited for the game. We did a little lineup builder live last night, which I had a lot of fun with. And I got a message actually from the Penfez afterwards telling me about Jordan Larson should be nailed on to be in my best team and all the rest of it. Ended up back at the drawing board before I went to my bed last night. So it was going to be a deadline stream for us all, Harry, where it was going to be last minute chops and changes. How are you feeling for this game week in terms of teams, quantity, quality, all the above?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, this week is genuinely can't remember the last time I've had this amount of lineups out. Like I don't think in the last 2 years or so I think I've got 10 like active lineups without count. Like that's no amateurs, that's no semi-pros. That's literally like one limited lineup and the rest are rares and rare pro / super rare. So yeah, this is honestly one of the biggest sort of weekends for me. Like, just to kick things off, it might be like this for the next couple of weeks. until we have that international break. But yeah, mate, honestly, I'm actually buzzing for the weekend. There's been loads of sort of stipulations with, because I've got a lot of depth now, mate, which I'm not really used to in certain areas. So it's been like a breath of fresh air in a weird way. It's a different challenge, but one that I'm happy about, obviously.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way, but it's like everyone seems to have lots of teams, and that's great to hear for yourself. And I think a big part of that, let's say, availability of utility is down to the cap modes, because one of the things I love about the cap modes is that they are just other versions of All Star, and All Star is a division like I've been crying out for, and it's not in the division because it kind of kills the makeup of all the competitions, but like I've been dying for just more abilities to play all-star-ish teams that are kind of made up of everything and anything's, not too bothered about. Maybe some of them have got a puncher's chance and whatever. And I think the cap modes really does, like enable a lot of that. So it's great to hear you've got so many teams going out. I dare say there's a fair amount of cap modes that are helping towards that.
Yeah, 100%. There's, what's that? 4 of those might be cap modes between, both 240s, both 270s, and 1 220, if that makes sense. So, what's that? 5.
Because if it was just all-star and regions, you just could not flat out play these things. They would have been underdog or specialist, and those are different types of teams you have, isn't it? And
100%.
These cap modes feel a bit more, like a thing. So yeah, great to hear, man. Looking forward to seeing what your teams are like later on in the stream as we get through it. I think I've not quite got quite as many teams as you. I've got a really last-minute pain in the backside. Sean Johnson's broke a hand. A finger, a bone. A bone in his hand.
To the better end of that, actually, Quinny, unfortunately. I'm a Thomas Romero owner. I'm the 23 goalkeeper for Toronto. So I think I have him for the next couple of weeks, unfortunately. There is another goalie, isn't there? Greg something, but I don't know if he's as rated as highly as Romero. Yeah, so, sorry to hear that. Yeah, you've obviously come off the bad end of the Sean Johnson situation, but that's what I'm down, man. Yeah, I'm actually playing him in Cap. He's getting a debut in Cap 240, to be fair, this week for me. So yeah. I've said it as well. Who's it? Jack? Yeah, Jack Patterson says, never mind the weekend. Harry's hunting for first place as we speak, and that is actually true, Quinny.
Let's see it.
Let me see. Yeah, I can get a few on here if we go live. I'm actually first right now as we speak in Champion Asia Rare Pro. With a little mixture of the Euro boys and I can't even, is it a Vispa? Yeah. Brought in a couple of them, or those 2 boys for this game week. I've had the sort of the collection bonus of the Euro boys for a while, but there's just a random game week where only 2 J League teams are playing this sort of midweek, and I combined what I thought would be the best sort of combination of what I've got available. I don't have like Schultz, the defender, the really good defender for.
I think it's so funny that you've got this Uruwa rig out because
I have the badge now as well. I went on a spree and bought like, how many did I buy? 4 more cards. Yeah, here we go.
Because they're packs, aren't they? They're sold in bundles on auction. That's how you started, isn't it?
They are. Yeah. So I've had to buy. I'm at like 370 points now, which is tasty. That's before the 10 points for the 30 days, the 90 days as well. So I think I could actually get to the 4%, just about, maybe, with what I've got. So no, hopefully I can hold on to something this midweek. But yeah, we'll see. There's still that's cool. Chinese league games, so I'm a little bit not worried, but that's something to think about as well. So we'll see. Could be an eventful Friday.
We've got the matchups tab on screen, Harry boy. I better get my screen sorted as well with the teams, because the top team there, it's actually the first team I've been dying to see the predicted 11 for, because it wasn't on Play Sharper yesterday when I was doing my wee lineup builder, and the best lineup, the best game this weekend, it's a Sorare old favourite, heavily stackable team. It's Benfica at home to, is it Casapia or who is it? Somebody new?
It's a new, Estrella. I think they've been promoted. Estrella. I think I don't think they were in the league last year. Maybe.
Fresh blood. What a matchup. Fresh blood for Benfica.
Yeah, fresh blood.
A new lamb to the slaughter.
It looks ridiculous as a fixture goes. I mean, odds are the 25-1 the other team to win the game. But we saw last week Boa Vista ended up beating. Was it Benfica? Yeah, they beat Benfica 2-1. It was at Boa Vista, to be fair. It wasn't at Benfica, but I mean, these upsets do happen. I don't think it'll happen this week, if I'm being honest. So I think Benfica will bounce back. But this team, whoever does the lineups for these, are pretty confident on 10 of those 11 players. So as far as stacking goes, I know that doesn't necessarily mean they're all going to play, but the fact that an expert is quite confident in what's going on with them, then fair play for him for doing so. But I mean, who would you pick out of the five here? Odysseus, Otamendi, maybe Bar, Kochu, and then Rafa? Or no, you have to play Di Maria actually, don't you? Maybe
You
two
can't not
mids.
have Di Maria.
Yeah, you got to go two mids. I'd say maybe Otamendi or Silva, even Bar. I mean, the other defender, Ristic's really good, but he's not got a card. I don't think. I could be wrong. Yeah, mate. There's just so many options. Is the worry here, right?
That's it, for sure. It's I think it's one of those ones where you kind of have to take the big names if you're going to be building a five out of this. But I can't believe Odysseus is 95%. Trubin's in the house, man. Trubin is in the building.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? It is weird.
Do you know what I mean? Surely you don't go and sign Anatoly Trubin to sit him on your bloody bench.
Probably not, no. But I saw the winning goal for Boa Vista. I mean, not. I didn't see the first two. I mean, yeah, the third one definitely wasn't Odysseus' fault. But yeah, 95 does seem really, really confident, doesn't it? Maybe overly confident. Who knows? But he probably knows more than us about Benfica. So
yeah. So
we'll
one
see.
of those ones. João Neves as well. He looks a player. I can't wait to see him get a card. But
yeah, he's great, man, honestly. Well, what a little like a Duracell battery is. Doesn't stop running. He's just everywhere. But yeah, great fixture. I know the matchup indicator's a bit messed up because Estrella, not Estrella, sorry, what are they called? Estrella, sorry, don't have any data, I guess. But yeah, second on the list is another Portuguese team. I mean, this is probably going to be a running theme, I guess, isn't it, over the next sort of next year or 8 months, sorry. Just the amount of lopsided matchups there is in Portugal, because as we know, top four teams is probably it, really, isn't it? You squeeze Braga in there, but we don't really have many cards. So yeah, Porto, Sporting, Benfica every week seem to just have a good one, but both at home, which makes it even more apex, doesn't it? Porto's team isn't as juicy though, as far as SO5 pieces, if I'm being honest. Like, you've got Costa in there, who will be heavily played in under 23. Taremi's in there. Estacchio's in there. Otavio. There's a couple, I guess, but defensively, I wouldn't really. There's no one there that I'd be stacking with. What I'm getting at is you won't find many Porto defensive stacks in Challenger slash Gas. I don't think.
Yeah,
there's just not really anyone you can.
It's only this Marcano guy, and he's not much of a. He's nothing to get too excited about.
Probably not. No.
I think
it's a weird one. So
he's decent, but it's not
a good player. Galano, they're good players. I just don't know if that Benfica team, and even you could argue the Sporting as well, as far as stacks go. I think, and I don't mean full stacks. That could be defensive, attacking, whatever. I think they're more. You're just going to see a lot more of them in Challenger / Gas. You're going to see obviously Costa in Red Pro, Rare, and Super Rare this weekend, heavily played. He's got a 64% clean sheet probability. I think it says 60 here on Play Sharper, but yeah, it looks nailed on. But we know football's a funny old game, Quinny, don't we?
Yeah, it definitely is. And two Challenger old school Sorare top dogs up at the top of the tree there. We then get Sporting Cristal, who don't have any real cards represented, I don't think. And then we get to the first game of the Premier League. Now, the Premier League's got a few really tasty games that we should definitely have a look at and talk about, even if they're not in the matchups tab here. But this is definitely the Premier League matchup of the weekend when it comes to Sorare, stacking a team. Liverpool, very stackable, will be stacked. And at home at Bournemouth, it just looks like it's going to be one-way traffic, doesn't it?
It does, man. Yeah, it's hard not to see that. I watched a bit of the Chelsea game last week against Liverpool. Chelsea looked really good. I know this is obviously about Liverpool right now, but Liverpool were good in spells. But I think Trent. I was quite surprised with what Trent came out and said in a weird way. But it makes sense from a footballing standpoint. But he did an interview after with Sturridge, and he basically said once we were drawing with Chelsea, we just thought we're not going out to win this game now. It's just we're just keeping it. We're happy with a point at Stamford Bridge, which it's not rocket science to work out or anything. Being any team, away to Stamford Bridge. But I just thought it was interesting the way he kind of worded it. But yeah, home fixture against Bournemouth. I mean, what better way to kick off your first win in the Prem? Obviously, there's only this will be the second game. team looks great. Starting 11 looks great. They've got a lot of strength in depth as well, like Nunes to come into that front three. The middle three is so exciting. McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gakpo. I know we like to see Gakpo maybe a little bit further forward, but it's going to be hard to displace, a Diaz and Salah on the wing. So where else can really Gakpo play realistically? He's not a 9, I don't think. I don't think he likes playing 9. And yeah, I think he's great in that sort of 10-8 role, depending on what Szoboszlai gets up to. But I think it's really, really interesting. I really, really like the Liverpool side right now. But problem is, so many people have these Liverpool stacks now. Is it even that? I don't know. Like, if you're playing full Liverpool stacks, I think it's just very hard to differentiate yourself. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But everyone seems to have. Yeah, everyone has Alisson and Trent and Van Dijk.
Sure.
The front six will change. Don't get me wrong. As far as like what you'll see, there'll be variances in that. But I think, that sort of Trent, Van Dijk, Becker 3/2 is so popular, which is not a bad thing. You need to be in the race. Salah, of course, up front. But I don't know, mate. It feels like a 3-0 Liverpool, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah, definitely.
6 decisives sort of shared around, and I don't know. We'll see. But Bournemouth, they're no mugs, but at Anfield it'll be tough. As we know, Quinny, we know how tough playing at Anfield is. It's not. It's
wasn't tough for you, big man.
Well, mate, at centre half is a breeze, so Van Dijk's got an easy day at the office. But if I was playing anywhere else, mate, honestly, I don't think I could have trapped a bag of cement on that pitch. It was so zippy, wasn't it? It was unbelievable. But I don't know, mate. Bournemouth have done some serious scouting. I mean, Max Aarons have come in, Kirkers has come in. Like, it's not good. Is it good enough to compete with Liverpool at Anfield? Probably not. Billing, Rothwell, Brooks, who I love, but is he? I don't know. Like, it's just not good enough for me personally. Cliver to come into that. I don't know. What do you think?
I think Liverpool probably run them over, but what's his name? Iraola is the new Bournemouth manager, obviously took over in the summer. But this is the same team that played the Chelsea game, and I'm glad you said that, Harry, but Gakpo was like an 8 more than a 10 in some parts too. He was coming back to his own box and winning the ball and getting right stuck in. And Liverpool just, I didn't actually hear that quote. I must have, if it was a post-game interview, I didn't catch all of that stuff. I was maybe watching something else. But, they didn't have a midfield, Liverpool. And between them and Chelsea, they were just everything was going wide and long, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So, at home against Bournemouth, that's a great way to play. Against Chelsea, it's a bit dangerous. So once you've got a draw, maybe you just go, right, let's just accept it now. Because let's call a spade a spade. Alexis McAllister, Szoboszlai and Gakpo as a midfield three is not what you want to go into like a tight, top-end elite fixture with. There's no defensive cover there. I know there's a lot of energy and a lot of endeavour and a lot of quality, obviously, on the ball, but so, I can kind of get that. I think that they're just going to be too good for this Bournemouth team. They're going to be happy to sit back and basically allow this midfield to happen, and then they can shoot from range. They can play 1-2s, they can get in and around the final 25 yards more comfortably. I think Bournemouth will allow that to happen and try and catch them on the counter-attack like all typical teams will do. But I don't think this Liverpool team will suffer anything from it. I think they'll just roll them. You're saying 3-0. It could be, we've seen Newcastle beat Villa 5-1. This could be a crazy game, really, when you think about it.
It could technically, it could. If there's an early goal specifically for Liverpool as well, that could be curtains for Bournemouth. But I guess we stick with champion Europe, and we've got Barcelona home to Cadiz, I watched the Barcelona game Sunday night. They played away to, who did they play away to? Your boys, Getafe, wasn't it? And
sorry on the wall.
It was a scrappy game. Sorry on the wall. Obviously, clean sheet. Barcelona looked frustrated, if I'm being honest, Quinny. Just couldn't really break 900 men behind the ball Getafe down, which is just the game plan. It worked, and they got their points at home, which was a big thing for the first game of the season. So Xavi got sent off. Somebody else got sent off. Who got sent off for Barca? I'm sure somebody got sent.
Was it Rafinha? No.
Yeah, it was Rafinha. Yeah, great shout. Yeah, so he elbowed somebody. There was a bit of handbags going on, but he's elbowed somebody in a bit of a transition. Got another yellow to get the red. That killed them. And then I'm sure Getafe got a sending off then. So it went 10v10 at some point. But still, they huffed and puffed, but nothing really came of it as far as chances and stuff. They brought on a few of the youngsters. That Lamal came on, or Yamal, however, Lamin Yamal, I think his name is. He came on before Ferran. He came on before Fati. Like he's up in the pecking order right now as a 16-year-old. This Abade came on before anyone. I think he's too raw personally. But he's rapid, but he's just got no sort of technical ability. And well, I can't say no, but just not enough to where it's sort of leveled out, you know. And yeah, they huffed and puffed, but you know, it's home to Cadiz. I mean, again, similar to the Liverpool thing. You know, again, it's hard to foresee anything other than like a nice sort of Barcelona victory here to kick off the season.
Yeah, so it's a quite nice team for being like kind of modest as well. You know, like Romeo and Gundogan coming in are kind of great, but not like glamorous in some way. I know Gundogan's quality, right? But you get what I'm saying. Along with De Jong and Pedri, it's like it's a really tiki taka, effort, isn't it? Yeah, I'm really surprised to see this Abde and Lamal ahead of Torres. Like Torres and somebody else just got new squad numbers. Torres is like number 7 or number 10 or something now. Like he's just got given a new shirt and a new contract. So I find that weird. But I know that Yamal, he's been on the radar for a little while for somebody about to break in. So maybe we'll get his card this year. I'll be interested to see him.
Quinny, and Cadiz, like serious.
Yeah, he'll be a good rookie to get, eh? And
oh my god,
Cadiz are like, they try their hardest, don't they? They go for it. They didn't get relegated last year.
He's a throwback.
Yeah.
They didn't get relegated. They finished like 14th, didn't they? They had a decent finish. Because obviously Jesus Ferreira was apparently linked with them, and that was like the most random rumor of this sort of transfer window, I would say. But so I had a look at their sort of standings and stuff, and who they brought in and stuff. I think their highest ever transfer fee is like 3 million. So to spend like 10 on Ferreira didn't really add up too much. And apparently those rumors have been sort of put to bed a little bit. So I don't know. I think it's a great Barcelona fixture. Great for Champion. You're going to see loads of Barcelona players in Champion, and sprinkled into under 23s. But yeah, no, another good matchup. We'll see. Yeah, Liverpool and Barcelona. I think Liverpool will get. Wow. Who gets better SO5 scores as an 11? Does the Barcelona 11 or the Liverpool 11 on average, if that makes sense?
I think at home at Cadiz is way better than at home at Bournemouth. So I think Barca.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I think you'll get more peaks, perhaps. Maybe that's not the metric. No, I think maybe Liverpool will be more peaky, but maybe the floor of Barca will be higher.
Better AA, maybe. I would probably put money on that Barcelona better AA game. Yeah, no.
Like who would you stack out of this? Who would you stack out of this if you were to take 5?
I mean, I have Balde and Pedri, don't I? So they're my under 23 boys. But if I'm just looking like outside of under 23, then I'd definitely play ter Stegen and maybe a Koundé. Koundé scored exceptionally well last game, although it's a tough game against Getafe as far as duels and all that stuff. So I'd go ter Stegen, Koundé. Gun to my head, I probably do I go De Jong or Pedri? I don't know. It's tough. Maybe I go De Jong, and then it's hard to not go Lewan, isn't it? That'd be my 4. Would I want another extra player from Barca? Maybe Pedri, maybe Gundo. Yeah. But there's no one like I'd much prefer to go get a Salah or a Trent from and have that as my extra to differentiate the team a bit. So yeah, interesting matchups all at home so far. So home fixtures are dominating, but we are going away to Excelsior for Ajax. Well, they had a good result, didn't they, Ajax, on the weekend? I was quite surprised. Was it like a 5-1 or 4-1?
I think they did pretty decent, yeah. I'm sure the live chat will be able to catch us.
They had a really good win. I don't remember how... am I saying Excelsior right, Quinny, or am I butchering that?
Yeah, no, I'd say Excelsior.
I don't know how they got on the weekend.
Big Medic scored a worldie, didn't they? Did it maybe won 3-0 or something? I don't think it was that high scoring.
They won 4-3 away to NEC.
4-3. Is that what it was?
Which is just mental. And then Ajax, beat somebody 4-1 at home to Hercules.
Aye. 4-1 was it? Big Medic get the worldie.
Yeah. So Bergwijn 2 goals. Kudus got a goal. Van der Boomen had a good game. He didn't get any decisives, but he had like 8 key passes. He was on everything. Yeah, that Medic's goal was insane, wasn't it? Rocket from edge of the box type of thing. Yeah, I mean, Rudy got injured, so they're gonna probably have to play Gorta this weekend. So under 23s, maybe watch out there.
Former Aberdeen legend.
Former Aberdeen legend. I actually watched this. I watched the Celtic Aberdeen game. It was a good game. Carlos Borges came off the bench. David Klassen came off the bench. Wyndahl came off the bench. So I don't know. Maybe I underestimated Ajax, and before I did my predictions and stuff. But I mean, yeah, it's only one game. They've won a game that they probably should have won at home. But going away from home, second game of the season, I don't think it'll be a breeze. But the matchup seems to think it's I mean, it is heavily, Ajax. They're going to dominate the game, but can they break them down? We saw Barcelona struggle away to Getafe. Those situations happen more often than not in football. So do they have the quality to break through? You'd argue yes, but it looks a good team for SO5, I think.
How dodgy is it to play somebody like Mohamed Kudus when they're on the brink of a transfer?
I know. And then he scores like 80 odds as well, which is just ideal. But yeah, no, it is, mate. Yeah, it's dodgy. It's really dodgy.
This feels like it's a powerhouse show, Harry boy. Where are we going next, man? Bloody hell!
This is
bloodbath week.
I know. I mean, we're all waiting for all these massive sort of, all the big leagues to come back, and then when they come back, we're all like, can they just piss off again? Because because the matchups are so tough. If you don't have the players, then it's real tough to compete with at the end of the day, isn't it?
So a bit of optimism. Werder Bremen were looking to be rubbish last year, but they actually were pretty good. And like this Fulkrug, Dutch, their whole kind of counter-attack system. Oh, Harry's disappeared. Hopefully we get him back. They were really effective. They really did really well in the league. Overperformed, I think, expectations. And there we go. Harry boy's back. I'll get him back on in a second. But yeah, I think if there's any team that could potentially throw a wee banana peel Bayern's way, it could be Werder Bremen. I'm not going to hold my breath on it. I'm not going to put any money against it, of course, because look at that Bayern team. Harry Trades.
I'm back. I don't know what happened then. Yeah, no, it's a scary Bayern team, mate. Harry Kane leading the line for Bayern Munich. I mean, yeah, me and Fed had a chat on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he didn't think it would happen, but I'm not just saying I knew it, but you could just tell Harry Kane was on his way. It was inevitable, I think, regardless of the Premier League record and all that rubbish. Mate, this team's scary. I think the fact that Harry Kane's in here just and it's not rocket science. It elevates the whole other 10 players or 9 outfielders as far as SO5 goes. The amount of goals that wouldn't have been goals maybe last season, and now goals from stupid angles. Headers, left foot, right foot. The guy's the best finisher on the planet, and I say that with all the confidence in the world. He is. That's why he's £100 million at 30 years old. He's incredible, however old he is. Sane, the amount of assists he's going to get this season. Musiala, Coleman's pace, Kimmich, even Alphonso Davies, who I love as a player, and he's incredible. But as an SO5 piece, he's probably or hasn't ever really been like elite, even though his name maybe carries him towards that. I think with the service he can bring to Harry Kane now, with those sort of like low crosses in front of the 6-yard box and stuff. I think honestly, mate, this could be scary for Bayern now this season with Kane there. Yeah,
it is the closest thing you're going to get to getting a time machine and go and get a young Lewandowski or a younger Lewandowski. You know what I mean? It's the closest thing you're going to get,
and arguably better in a weird way. I think in certain areas, I think he's a better finisher than Lewan. Lewan's exceptional and was exceptional for Bayern, but Harry Kane's finishing is next. Like honestly, I don't think that there's anyone better personally for me. I really don't think so.
Alan Shearer's Premier League goal scoring record is a formidable achievement to take for yourself, right? But some of the goal records that Lewandowski has in Germany are mental. Will Harry Kane get a faster hat-trick than Lewandowski? Will he get faster 4 goals in a game? Will he score, what was it, 4 goals in, it was mental, wasn't it? He did some crazy stuff when he was peak Lewa, post-Guardiola, Bayern Munich, kind of vibes. So I'm really excited from a neutral football perspective to see how well this team does. I've got a wee Conrad Limer, so I've got a wee slice of the action for myself. So just in case that happens, I'm a part of it, which is cool.
I love it. Yeah.
But this team is quite SO5 friendly, I think, when they get their act together. The likes of Kim Min-jae, Alphonso Davies, Matthias de Ligt in here as well, and obviously all the forward players you've mentioned as well. This is a highly stackable team. is very well stacked, and this is a team that will be present on the leaderboard. I think out of all the teams we've maybe looked at thus far, I think Bayern is the one that people unanimously cheer against SO5-wise. Wee bit less so than Liverpool and Porto and Benfica and Ajax, you know. People like to hate on Bayern a bit more.
It's because it's champion Europe as well, isn't it? It's the fiercest competition on Sorare as far as, you know, where the quality is, because they're the best players in the world, if we're being honest, as far as those top 5 leagues on paper, maybe not France anymore. But no, I think, that Bayern, it was Bayern and Ajax, wasn't it, really? Like a couple of years ago when the stacking shout came out and everyone was so anti-stacking. And now we just have to accept it as part of the game, and that's fine. You know, I'm all here for that. But I think Bayern and Ajax were the two apexes one there at the time, and everyone was sort of, you know, anti-Bayern, anti-Ajax, unless you had those cards, because they were just so OP. But, you know, I mean, Jonathan mentions it in the chat, like, you know, there is no Neuer, so that you can obviously full stack Bayern if you wanted to, but I don't think defensive. Obviously, Kim Min Jae and De Ligt will probably end up scoring very well, but as far as like goalkeeper as well, that 25 for the clean sheet, you know, I mean, Juric isn't, or Juric, however you pronounce it. He's not going to be hard to get in that sense, but is there much point buying him is the issue, because Bayern might go buy another keeper. Neuer's coming back pretty soon is the rumor on the street. So I don't know. It's an interesting, like temporary. I don't think we're going to see many full Bayern stacks, which is, I don't think that takes anything away from them as a team.
The word on the street is that Bayern are signing Daniel Peretes, the Israeli goalkeeper that we've seen in the Euros. So that'll be a wee 23 goalkeeper in the mix until Neuer's return, which will be good fun. Of course, you know about it, Harry, because it's been all over Jonathan's Twitter. So if you've woke up this morning and opened Twitter, you've seen it.
I've had multiple discords from Jonathan. He's very much informed. He's buzzing, to be fair, and so he should be. I mean, you know, he mentioned him to us, didn't he? Really, pretty early on in that tournament, and you know, the fact that he's obviously got his move, like a massive move to Bayern Munich, just shows. You know, Jonathan knows his onions, Quinny, for sure.
That's it. He knows some onions for sure. And then the next team we've got here is at home again. And again, how stackable are they? I'm not too sure. I know Turkey is a region, but a league that a lot of people are going after. But Besiktas at home to Kulübü, I'm going to say. Pendik, maybe. Pendik, what we call them?
Yeah, Pendik. I think they got promoted last year. Pendikspor, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And this looks like a good old-fashioned Turkish Super League team, if I've ever seen one. Jackson Maleka up front, Vincent Abubakar, you know, then the likes of Hadzimetovic, Omar Colley in the back, Arthur Masuaku left back. This is a good old Turkish team, if ever I've seen one, you know. Obviously, high talent with Gedson and Hadzimetovic in midfield, and, you know, a few other guys. Rebic coming into this. Rebic is a firm Besiktas level player, isn't he? I think that. Oh, and Rashika's in this team too.
Okay. Oh, they've got some quality then. Fair play. I mean, they have.
And Oxlade-Chamberlain.
And who? Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yeah, they just signed him on a 3-year. Yeah.
Yeah. That's coming up, man. They're spending some money.
No. The thing is, though, they have to, like I was going to say, they kind of have to. Fenerbahce and Galatasaray seem to just be funking money everywhere. And Marty, mate, honestly. Yeah, it'll be an interesting sort of title race, I think. I don't follow the Turkish league as like thorough as maybe I should, but as far as those 3 teams, I don't know if there's much in it. Maybe Galatasaray, I don't know, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray probably first and second, and then maybe Besiktas third. But Gedson's been on fire, Jack says, and he has, hasn't he? L5 of what, 81? All the best playing against that. But yeah, great fixture, home fixture, which is what we like to see for those sort of stacks. I think Masuaku had an assist midweek. I think they played in one of the Europa qualifiers.
Nice.
So yeah, you know, good team. Might go under the radar. That's I've actually, random story. Oscar Romero. I know you were just clicking on him then. Yeah. I put him in one of my videos, in one of my £5 or less videos, because he was somebody like watching Boca. I always rated. He's, you know, one of the sort of. He's an SO5 piece that you kind of want in your team than not. Like he can hit hundreds like quite comfortably because he's on set pieces. He's like, you know, a cam in that sense, and he's cheap as chips. He is playing for a promoted side, so I don't know how well. I know they're not very good, basically, is what I'm getting at. So, you know, his scores are going to suffer, but he is somebody. If he is the main man there, or becomes the main man, then could be an interesting little under the radar piece if you've not seen like the video that I made. But Yeah, no, interesting Besiktas side for sure.
He's a
And then we've
fiver.
got way less than a 5. I think he's like £2, Quinny.
Woofed.
Something stupid. Yeah. Let me have a look.
Harry's channel is linked in the description of the video. Feel free to check it out.
Let me have a look. I think he was £2 something when I last saw. There's 27 limited. He is £2 and 1 pence. Basel bought with the cheapest on the market right now. Tasty. I'm not saying he's usable away to Besiktas, but I think just monitor that one. But yeah, Club Brugge at home to a newly promoted side, isn't it? I haven't really worked out what they're actually called yet. I don't know if you've.
It's like initials. It's like RDWM or something. Oh, it's actually spelled out here: Racing White Daring Molenbeek.
Wow, so Molenbeek. I have heard of the name, to be fair.
Yeah. But we say Molenbeek then.
We'll go Molenbeek, is it? Yeah.
Or Racing White Daring.
That does sound really intriguing. I like that.
That's like an MLS name, isn't it? That's like an old school MLS name, like what you would, say as a joke, like.
It's just a random daring. 3 words.
That is funny, isn't it? But clean sheet probability for them is 10%, so not going to happen. Do we have any cards in our team? We've got We've got both goalkeepers. It would seem. Is
that Desart's brother? It's got to be, hasn't it? The other Desart that plays again.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This guy looks old, but here's Pierre Duwame's in this team. So is Florent de Silva. I don't really know him, but he's got a card.
Okay.
And Shuto Abbey.
Yeah, he played for Lyon. He was at Lyon. Yeah.
And Shuto Abbey.
Jonathan Harris.
Yeah, I've got a few cards.
Yeah, there's a couple of boys here that have done the rounds, I guess. Mercier plays there, yeah. Okay, so maybe they're no mugs, but newly promoted.
So we budget team.
It does seem like a budget team, doesn't it? It'd be a £5 or under team. They would definitely feature in one of my videos, I think, as a team goes. But what was this? Vanaken was ill in the week, so waiting for the press conference at 2 for more news. So that's a great little shout there from Coltrane. Appreciate that, mate. But yeah, Vanaken's been on fire, hasn't he? This sort of last couple of weeks. I'm sure. I know he's not in that. Yep. So there, 77 L5, 75 L15. So he's back.
Hot to trot.
Lord is back. Yeah, Lord's back. Yeah, mate. Club Brugge do look sort of quite tasty this year for SO5. Not that they've never been, but there's just a few pieces here to decipher.
And Tajon Buchanan is your fullbacks, man. Doesn't that just feel dirty?
It's like Alphonso Davies at right back, basically. I'm not saying Tuchon's as good as Alphonso, but both Canadian. You get where I'm going with that.
And De Kuiper as well, but both of them love a bit of that, don't they?
Yeah, I know. De Kuiper loves an assist, obviously. One of the best under 23 defenders. Wouter does say it is the Desart's brother. Big Alexis.
Confirmed.
Olsen looks decent. Well, he's always looked decent, but SO5, I think he got 2 goals last week. They won 5-1 or maybe 5-0 last weekend, I believe.
No Bernardo.
Okay, no Bernardo. Interesting.
I'll be dropping him.
Yeah, he's got to go. But Noose is a massive player. He, for SO5 and for under 23s. Same for Olsen or Skov Olsen. This Thiago, I think they bought him from Barca, one of the Spanish clubs, I'm sure. I know he hasn't got a card yet, but another one to keep an eye on there. The CDM from Midgetland, is it Rafael Onadika? He always seems to score really well as well from what I've seen on Soraredata and stuff. I've not got to watch him play yet, so if anyone in the chat have seen him play, let me know what he's like. But yeah, mate, really good fixture. This is a massive weekend. If you're not involved in some way with a lot of these teams and you're looking to go get something in Challenger and Champ and Gas, man, it is going to be tough.
Especially because now we're on to 20 up and amongst this, man.
Thing is, though, Quinny, a lot of these teams do play midweek, so you've got to take that into consideration. 20 played midweek, Club Brugge played midweek, Besiktas played midweek. Benfica didn't, and neither did Porto. So you could argue that Benfica and Porto, even though they have better fixtures, again, they also are probably fresher. It's levels, isn't it? So it makes a difference. If you're playing midweek and weekends, I don't care who you are. It's tough on the body as far as you are just going to see. You're going to see declines in just certain styles of play, and just fatigue's going to kick in. I know it's start of the season, so you could argue they're going to be fitter than ever in that sense, but it's still tough mentally. It's not easy. So. It's still great fixtures for these teams that have 2 fixtures, midweeks and stuff, and 20 being one of them. They've looked great again, haven't they? They've sort of picked up where they left off last year, really, as far as being an SO5 pieces. I think, Unistore, Proper, all the usual suspects have kind of, started where they sort of finished last year.
Yeah, and again, highly stackable. You're going to see a lot of defense combos, maybe less forwards now that Cherny's not there. Hard to say, really. I'm not really too sure. People built their stacks, and maybe some of these other guys will become more prominent throughout the season. I know this Roots guy, or Rots, he was on my timeline this morning. I don't know if people are buzzing about him playing this weekend or something, but he's maybe
and that's right. I've known of him for Dan Roth. Sorry, yeah, he's been around for a little while. Tricky player to be fair. He's peaked in the last couple of years as far as like he's had some decent scores here and there, but never had a stretch of game. So maybe they think he's going to be a viable SO5 piece going forward, which he very well could be. So yeah, great fixture there. I've never seen so many of these matchup indicators being so lopsided as far as like playing teams. You know what I'm saying? Because they're playing so many promoted teams.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's wild.
And then
seeing so many
Universitario doing it too.
I think they played midweek as well, Quinn. I know they're obviously, not a European team. That doesn't mean anything. Well, I think their season's been going for a little while, maybe, so they're sort of maybe used to it at this point. But yeah, great matchup on paper. I'm not somebody that follows them, but I know this Piero Quispe fella, the centre midfielder. I think he's an under 23 piece. He always seems to do well. Andy Polo and Alex Varela. I always see them notching goals. So yeah, it could be something to look out for, especially in gas and obviously America as well.
Yeah. And then, I've got a little spate here of Champion Euro. We've got Inter Milan, hoping Monza. Now, this is the first game of the season. Inter Milan have been kind of taken to pieces. Let's have a look at the team and see what's... I'm not too fearful of this from like a non-Inter player. If you are an Inter player, I suppose all your main guys are there, really, aren't they? They've lost
from what I see.
Otherwise, it's much the same.
Thuram's obviously come in, which I think is going to be big for them. A lot of legs. Obviously, Dzeko, great at holding the ball up, one of the best in the world for the last 10 years at that. But, does he run channels and can he sort of beat defenders? No, but that's fine. They've got Thuram now, and that gives them such a new dynamic, I think, going forward to pair off with Lautaro, who athletically isn't great. You'll work all day, and he's obviously an unbelievable finisher. So I think their pairing could actually complement each other really well. I think Thuram could be really interested in this Inter team.
I definitely could be. They've also brought in Fratesi in midfield and Quadrado, who we all know, of course, but they're not on for starting. But yeah, it's a pretty strong team. And yeah, I think Lautaro and Thuram there could definitely be because that combo with Inter Milan is about breaking away in a pair and working together, and I can see them two passing and moving together quite well, because Thuram, his best time at Gladbach, he's doing that with Alassane Playa in a different kind of way, So I think he'll be pretty good for him. Monza don't look that great this year. Don't think they've really pushed the boat out last year to build their squads. A lot of it was loan players. A lot of them are no longer there. And it's still kind of an okay team, but it's like, I don't think Inter Milan will be too scared about it. But Gagliardini and D'Ambrosio are there now, so maybe they've got something to prove playing their old team. But yeah, with big Sommer and goals, you've got to feel this is going to be a 1 or 2-0 victory probably.
100%, mate. Opening fixture of the Serie A. 1 or 2-0 I would probably go here. Clean sheet seems pretty programmed for Sommer, I'd imagine, but you never know. It's a funny old game at times. But Napoli away to Frosinone.
And what could be Zielinski's last... they're new to the league this year, but I think they were in Serie A maybe a few years ago.
Okay.
But it could be Zielinski's last game. He's maybe going to go Red X territory. And they're bringing in Gabri Vega. I don't know if you've seen the news this morning, but big Gabri boy is heading to Naples. And
I love that.
I can't wait for him to take somebody's spot in this midfield. I don't care whose it is, but he's taking it. And when Cravadonna's back, this is a really good Napoli team. The only problem with Napoli, and it'll be really interesting to see them first game of the season, Harry, is they've changed manager. Yeah. They've brought in Rudy Garcia, who we're not expecting to be anywhere near attacking as last season under Spalletti. So it'll be really interesting to see how Napoli go this year, to be honest with you, because I think Rudy Garcia was a really underwhelming appointment, and there's not been that much actual transfer business happen. Kim Min-jae's left. It's obviously the whole Osimhen saga. Not really been much of a Kvaratskhelia saga, but to be honest, he feels pretty nailed in for this year.
Yeah, there hasn't, is there? Yeah.
But Zielinski seems to be out, and that'll be a wee bit of a fundraiser maybe for Gabby Vega's inbound. Let's see what happens with him. But when he gets there, but yeah, it's not been like, oh, they've won the league and then they've went out and let's go and buy another Kravic. I know Gabby Vega's in now, but it's not went and replace Kim Min Jae thoroughly. I think they've maybe tried to sign somebody. Yeah, Nathan. Yeah, they signed a Brazilian guy from. Is this maybe the Red Bull team in Brazil? They bought him from or something.
Okay.
But
Batagano or something. Yeah.
they brought him in from. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see Napoli. I'm not as convinced that they're going to be. I think they're going to have a great first game of the season, but I don't think it's as obvious that they're going to be a good reigning champion. If you get me, because of the change of manager mainly.
Yeah, it makes a massive difference, especially when you win the league and stuff. Like it's hard to replicate that. With a new manager, we lost a couple players or whatever. Yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, yeah, you can only decline from. Well, you can't only decline. You can obviously win it again, I guess. But you know what I'm saying. I don't see them winning Serie A again, if that makes sense, back to back. If I'm being completely honest,
that would be a huge shock, wouldn't it? You would think, losing the manager and then not any real enforcements happening in the summer. Let's see yet, But the next game we've got there is away, and for some of these teams, away isn't really that bad a situation. In Real Madrid away to who is it we actually have this time? Is it Almeria? It looks to be, I think, a pretty good road game. I think for Real Madrid, it's probably not going to be high scoring, but I don't think Real Madrid will be under much threat. Despite injuries to Courtois and Militao, this defence still looks pretty kind of solid. But Fran Garcia is probably the weakest one of the four, you would say. And it is quite fit. Nacho is the first line of defence, excuse the pun, behind the starting back four. So it just shows you all positions how threadbare that Real Madrid are at the back, I suppose. But big Rudiger, Alaba, Carvajal, they're all good enough. Of
course, but I think Ancelotti came out and said today, they're not they're happy with the stress. I know they've lost Militao, but he's basically saying he's not going to buy anyone. They're happy. So I think that's interesting. I think Nacho's a good player. Is he Real Madrid level starting 11? No, but he can come in and do a job wherever, whether that's right back, centre back, left back. He does do well, and utility players are, they're hard to come by, but in this sort of day and age. But I mean, Bellingham 100 last week on his debut, Quinny. I mean, just unbelievable goal from a corner. Weird. He took it really weird. It was a weird shot. He's stabbed it into the ground. It's sort of bounced over the keeper and stuff. But goal's a goal. Rodrigo got a goal or an assist, got one of the two. I was gutted. Obviously, I had Vinny and Rodrigo in two separate lineups, but Vinny unfortunately didn't get me a DA. But interested to see no Camavinga in this sort of starting 11. I know there's Cruz is at 60.
He's injured. I seen something this morning. I seen something this morning. He got injured or something. Something happened this morning, and I seen "You'll Never Walk Alone" in Sorare having a tweet laugh about it or something. I forget what, but it was like he's injured, and "You'll Never Walk Alone" was like, "Oh, of course I've played him in D1, or something." If you know what I mean, typical, that would happen kind of thing. So I think he's injured.
Interesting.
Or something.
Okay. Yeah, Camavinga
picked check it out. Camera holders, but yeah. Sorry.
Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate it. But yeah, man, I'm going all out Real Madrid this week. I've Vinny and Rodrigo in the same lineup for me. I think there's a couple of decisives here. Even though they're away, Almeria won't be easy. They'll make it hostile. But I think their legs and their quality will kind of shine through, especially higher up the field.
Yeah, I'm just not. Almeria were okay when I seen them last year, at the beginning. I only seen them once at the beginning of the season. And they were okay. I think they've just signed Maximiano. Yeah, they have. So maybe Maximiano's going to get a game. Maybe he don't want it to debut against Real Madrid, but maybe he does. Maybe that gives Real Madrid the problem, But I think it's going to be. I think Vinny, Jude, and Rodrigo just start to kind of click a wee bit more and.
Different positions for them as well. They're not playing with a 9, if that makes sense. They're playing with two outside forwards, and Vinny and Rodrigo both aren't 9s. They're without Benzema, who's been a massive part of this team for the last God knows how many years. So it's going to be a weird transition, but Bellingham brings so much as a 10. I think it kind of, I'm not saying it makes up for not having Benzema, but it just levels things out to a degree where he can make Bellingham special. Obviously, we know all this is not new to us, but it just gives Vinny and Rodrigo a lot to bounce off in that sense. Where last year when Benzema left, they didn't have that for a little while. So
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
And then we've got, other than Bayern, I think our first Bundesliga return of the year here. We've had a wee bit of Italy action there, which was nice. But Frankfurt are at home to newly promoted Darmstadt. And I thought at first, Frankfurt, nah, they can't be that highly favoured. But when you look at the predicted 11, they've still got Kolo Muani. It's easy to forget. They've still got Mario Götze. They've still got wee Jesper Lindstrom, who we like. And, the rest of the team's kind of okay, I suppose. Trapp's a good enough goalkeeper for me. And this team probably looks a bit scarier when it's in Bundesliga 2, but in the Bundesliga, this team looks pretty rubbish, doesn't it? So we're not. I don't think we're holding out much faith for Darmstadt. But again, Bundesliga's a very well competitive league, so maybe something. That's why on paper, I wouldn't look at this game and go, "Oh yeah, Wolfsburg will run over them." Frankfurt will run all over them. But I say that forward line just looks really good, and I think they're going to have too much on the day, kind of thing. But yeah, that's a wee funny one. But the one that I think pulls on, the one that pulls on better from Real Madrid there is, obviously we're talking about Jude Bellingham, but the next game behind that on the matchups tab was Borussia Dortmund at home to Cologne. And Dortmund have been quite busy in the summer window, Harry boy.
Yeah. Ben Sabani's a wicked cop, I think. I've been a massive fan of his since the FI days, to be honest, Quinny. Was penalty taking sort of left back for Gladbach, and yeah, he was great. I think he's technically incredible. I'm really, really looking forward to watching him play this season for them. But I mean, in that starting 11, Sabitzer obviously has come in. So you're looking at Sabitzer and Ben Sabani, the only two in that 11 that they've sort of signed. Obviously, they've signed elsewhere. But a pretty settled team. You don't want to make too many changes, do you? Really? I know they've just lost Bellingham, was a massive loss, but yeah, I mean, it seems like it's a balanced Dortmund team. There's no superstars in that for me. Where over the last couple of years they've had Sancho, they've had Haaland, they've had Bellingham, they had Dembele before that. They've had like that one superstar. Right now, I'm seeing. I mean, they have that Duranville looks incredible, but I don't think he's going to really pop off yet. Makoku, we could argue maybe eventually. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a really solid 11. There's no standouts there as far as, world-class players, I would say. Hummels was in his day. And you could argue maybe Sule. But great team at home. But Cologne had no mugs, mate. They seem to just get results.
Yeah, Cologne have definitely been one of those teams that always kind of pop up and surprise. And yeah, they've got a few players here: Eric Martel, Schwabe, and goals. These guys can score pretty well. Luka Waldschmidt is finally out of Benfica. He was out of Benfica and he was at Wolfsburg, going nowhere. So he's now out of Wolfsburg, and he's finally playing. So maybe he's a wee bit of a secret weapon. Kynes, as we know, is decent for sets. And Selke and Adamian have been around a little bit. So yeah, they're definitely not write-offs, are they?
No,
but
definitely
Dortmund at home, first game of the season. It's just you expect that firepower to be too strong and too powerfully. And I think it's the XG here, 2.6 for Dortmund. You expect him to score 3 or 4 probably in a game like this, and that's probably where the points are got. Ben Sebaini really is one of those guys that I think suits modern football with this whole inverted fullback nonsense in that, because he is a real ball player, a real possession guy, So, and this Dortmund team tucking in next to Chan, that might be a real good kind of platform for the rest of these guys to play on top from. So
definitely.
So yeah, quite excited. Now, Harry, the rest of these games here, I think that some of these games are probably still quite good, right? But somebody's just thrown into the chat a really good point. I want to take it as a wee bit on a tangent with Leverkusen versus Leipzig is a game to watch.
Ooh.
So let's have a look at that, right? Some good SO5 lineups here. And there's 2 games in the Prem. I'm excited about watching this week, so we'll have a look at those. And then we'll see what time we're at, and we'll do our usual stuff from there. You okay with that?
Yes, perfect, mate.
Nice, sound. So Leverkusen, first full season under Xabi Alonso, managed to keep a hold of Frimpong. Grimaldo's came in, Granit Xhaka's in, Boniface is in, Hoffman is in. Has this Leverkusen team looked as good?
Probably not, mate. No, this is a really good team, and I don't expect Bayern to not win the league this year with the Kane purchase, but I honestly fancy Leverkusen to do better than Dortmund this year, and that might not be that much of a, against the grain sort of opinion. But mate, Grimaldo, Hoffman, Boniface, they've still got Wirtz, still got Tapsoba, they've still got Tar, Kosanu, Hradecky, Frimpong, Xhaka into that midfield as a leader. Mate, honestly, this team's like dangerous.
Yeah.
like they'll take Bayern close, honestly. If they can click under Xavi Alonso, as we know, up and coming new coach and sort of dubbed to get that Real Madrid sort of move at some point and stuff, like in that sort of Arteta mold for Arsenal. Mate, honestly, this team's frightening, genuinely. Now they have like a proper number 9 who can score serious goals from any angle. He's physical, quick, and he can obviously finish. And then Vert and Hoffman coming off him. And then Frimpong and Grimaldo. Honestly, mate, I'm not seeing a weak point in that team genuinely now. Like on my life, I can't see for a Bundesliga team where that team's lacking, like personnel-wise, genuinely. Maybe off the bench. What's the options off the bench? Adley. Who else have we got? Is Amiri still there? I don't think Amiri's still there, is he really? Not these.
He's been pulled to go anyway, even if he is.
Yeah,
Same with Demerby.
I don't know what their squad's like, but that starting 11, boys, Jesus, that is frightening, if I'm being honest.
So we've still got Hinchapi, who's injured.
Yeah, great. Sort of left-sided centre-back.
Yeah, there's not much actually in midfield. It's Andrich and Amiri and Bamba, but apparently he's a midfielder now.
Interesting.
And then your boy Adley. And Asmund's gone now, I think, isn't he? I think Asmund's left, isn't
he? There was rumours he was going to go to Zenit, but apparently that hasn't happened yet, honestly. So I think he might still move, don't get me wrong. But obviously, Schick's body's just, since the Euros when he scored that goal against Scotland, genuinely, because I had his super at the time, genuinely, I don't think he's played a game of football. He's been, like, genuinely, I don't think he'd have a stretch of games. He's really, really struggled, mate. Yeah, with whatever injuries he's got. But mate, honestly, I really like that team. But then going over to this Leipzig team, I in that conversation, me saying I think Leverkusen are great this year, this Leipzig team equally looks really, really interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is going to be a fist fight, this game, because Leipzig only play one way. And if this is the way Leverkusen are going to line up, you know what I mean? Like, they're basically just taking the gloves off as well and going, right, let's do it. First game of the season.
Yeah, trying to punch us. Yeah.
All right, let's go for it. So this game is going to be crazy, mental. Xavi Simons, Dani Olmo in those attacking playmaker roles with Seiwald and Schlager, Rom, Timo Werner, Openda. This is just going to be transition city, man. It's just going to be end to end.
The legs in this Leipzig team. Oh my god!
What minute will Schlager will come off injured in this game? See, as soon as you said that, the first thing that came into my mind. What minute will Schlager be injured? Guys in the live chat, get the numbers in. What minute will Xaver Schlager? I like to just take substituted if we want to keep it clean. But what minute will he get injured? Because I think he will get injured.
I mean, Leipzig obviously blew Bayern away, didn't they, on the weekend in the cup?
Yep. So they are,
really that, so.
Yeah, chest out, chin up, ready to rock. And this is going to be a great game to watch at the weekend. The kickoff time for it is Saturday, 2:30.
2:30. Yeah.
Oh, it's only going to be highlights then if you're in the UK, or unless you've got some funny, cool networks that you can get onto to watch TV at that time of day. But that's going to be a great game. Great game. Yeah. Really excited for that one. The other two, one of them's in the Prem. The one of them's is pretty obvious because it's top of the table clash. I think it's maybe the first top 4 clash we've had so far this season. It would be Man City at home to Newcastle. So I'm excited about this because I've got a Bernardo Silva that's probably not going to play now, but I do have Guardiola who probably will play. So it's my first kind of bit of Man City exposure, which is all good fun for me. But City at home, Bernardo or no Bernardo, the team's pretty strong, isn't it? Alvarez or Cole Palmer still floating around. I think the team kind of picks itself at this point. City have lost a bit of their depth with Gundogan and Mahrez leaving. So I think in these forward positions, it's a wee bit more predictable than what it was. And Newcastle running Villa over 5-1 in the first game is a very, very impressive result. And, some big performances from some of these guys. This is going to be a great game as well, Harry. What do you think of it?
Oh, mate, frightening. Yeah, I mean, I watched the Newcastle game against Villa, or the majority of the game. Thought Newcastle were unbelievable. They just want it so much. Like, they're so hungry to play football and to win every duel and to get up that field as fast as they can and get shots off and create things. It's scary, mate. Honestly, this if anyone's going to give, I mean, obviously Arsenal, Bayern, Arsenal, maybe Chelsea, maybe United, Liverpool. Okay, I think Newcastle could really give this Man City team a real good game, even at the Etihad. Genuinely, like, of all teams, I'd back this Newcastle team with the energy they have and the pace. I think they could upset Man City, lads. I know that could be going against the grain a little bit. But honestly, I think, did we say no Diaz? I know it doesn't really matter too much. They've got so much depth, but wasn't it no Diaz, no Bernardo, and no someone else? Was that what someone said in the chat?
Sam's saying Diaz and Stones are said to be fit. I think I heard
Wednesday.
opposite. Was like 3 people. Oh no, was it Sam that sent me it? Actually,
No,
somebody sent
someone
me
said
it.
in the chat earlier though. Someone said no Bernardo, and then there was 2 other names as well. I'm sure. Maybe it was they were fit, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and maybe it was I clearing them to play. Yeah,
Yeah. So if that's the case, then do I change my mind a little bit? Maybe. Charlie loves my shout, but honestly, I think Newcastle could really rattle Man City here. I've just got a weird feeling. Obviously, Man City just played Sevilla in the cup and whatever, and did well, but travel time and all that sort of stuff, it plays a part. Regardless of how good these players are, there is still lost time. Because did you see Guardiola was fuming because the game's on Saturday, right? And they played on Thursday, I believe. What was the game?
Yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday? One of the two. And he was fuming at the Premier League, obviously, because they didn't play the game Sunday or Monday. So you just, those little things sometimes just come back to bite you, don't they? When you've said that as a manager and you end up getting turned over. I don't know. I foresee it. I can see Newcastle getting a result, lads, genuinely.
Paris has asked a question, so I just went and put this team on the screen for him. So Jensen,
No
maybe
Stones. Diaz
no
might be
me.
fit is the consensus, apparently. Interesting.
Yeah.
I still back Newcastle. I really do.
No, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see. I think you're right. This could be a game that Newcastle could win. The second game of the season. City have just done the Super Cup, like you've said. They've had a full week of high-fiving each other after rinsing Villa 5-1. They'll be right up for it and being prepared for it all week. But I think if Newcastle line up like this, I've recorded a wee preview. It should be out on the channel in the next little bit before the game. But I think if they line up with this back four, if they line up with the same team that they played Villa with, I don't think they stand much of a chance to get a positive result in the game. I think they need to maybe tighten up a little bit, maybe leave 2 of these guys. I don't know, maybe that's a bit negative from my point of view, but I think Man City will just kill them too much if they play the way that they did against Villa. So I think they need to adapt.
I just think you need that pace. You need those front 3 in Gordon, Almiron, and Isak, because they'll press so high. They'll give you a chance to win the ball high. And I know Man City are incredible at keeping the ball at the back. So it's always going to be, who can outpunch the other at their sort of game. But I think the midfield 3 is combative. Tonali, Guimaraes, and Joe Linton will run all day for you and break up play where he can. And he's actually quite effective on the ball, more so than you probably think. So I don't know. I honestly, if I gun to my head, I say this is a draw. Personally, I don't think Newcastle go out and win, but I think there's a very good chance Newcastle might get a point here.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff for sure. Have we
got
any
the other
requests
game?
as far as
the other game is Tottenham at home to Man United. So I watched both of those games last week, Ange's first game in the league, and then trying to watch about this Ten Hag ball on Monday night or whatever. And again, I think Tottenham have got a really good chance at really spanking Man United in this game. I thought Tottenham were actually quite hard done to. And I think the weaknesses you've seen in Man United in the Monday night, I think Tottenham and Ange, knowing the way Ange plays ball, I think they might be all over them. The team doesn't look that great on the face of it, but they played kind of well. They were all right. Madison was tidy. Yeah. And yeah, maybe if they keep their defence on for the whole game, they'll do better. But did you see the Man United game then, or did you see the Spurs game?
I watched both. I watched bits of both. Yeah, I watched quite a bit. I watched, I think, the second half of the United game. And yeah, United should have been punished, man. Cunha had 3 chances. The one at the back post, I think it was saved, or maybe it was wide. I can't remember, but I remember seeing was it Onana, the keeper, in the goal? He was just just sort of lying down in his own net and stuff. But yeah, mate, honestly, Man United look poor. I wasn't impressed with United at all, if I'm being honest. Rashford's not a 9.
Yep.
I think I saw the clip. Mourinho mentioned it in 2019 or 2017 or something stupid. He was like, "Kid's just not good enough to be a number 9. He's a left forward at best." And that's not disrespecting Rashford. He is great at that, getting at you and stuff. But I just don't think he's a number 9 to build a team around. So yeah, man, I don't know. Man might be. It just seemed like there's trouble in paradise. I don't know why. I've got a funny feeling it just might not turn out. I think, did you see, I love Mason Mount. I think he was great for Chelsea and stuff, but I know it's one game, but there was a stat, someone cherry picked all the things he didn't do. It was he didn't make a tackle, didn't make an interception, didn't win a duel, didn't make a pass, didn't run. It was something stupid like that. And it was just I don't know, mate. I don't know, and that's not disrespecting Mount. I love him. I think he's great, but just weird, mate. Weird situation at United, I think. And like you said, Tottenham look interesting. Obviously, conceded a couple goals, but the firepower with Maddison, Kulusevski, Son, Charlison, if he can find his scoring boots, it's a decent team, mate. Decent team.
Yeah, I think where it's one of these ones where I think Man United I think overall they were pretty bad on Monday, and I think Wolves were really good. But there's I don't know, when it comes to the whole Mason Mount thing, see if you were watching that game, watching Mason Mount, in the first half, the first kind of, how long did he play? 67 minutes. So yeah, probably just the majority of the first half. His role kind of changed throughout the second half before he gets subbed and stuff like that. And you've seen in the first half when they were building out from Onana, because they're always just going to play out from the back now. They're going to pass from Onana to Lisandro to Varane to Onana till they get some space into midfield or to a fullback. And because they were repeating all that stuff, there was this little kind of motion that happened. I've got it in a video somewhere already, but as soon as they got the ball, as soon as they progressed play up to a certain point, both Mount and Bruno were just going up beyond Rashford, and they were marking centre backs almost, but also not marking them, but pressing them, And Rashford was allowed to, and I don't know if it was to maybe accommodate him because he's a very bad number 9, but they were jumping up ahead of him, pressing on centre backs, and then he was falling into the hole almost. And I don't think he did that great at it. And I was imagining afterwards, imagine it was Rasmus Højlund in that position, and I could imagine him maybe being a wee bit more nippy and connecting some of those things and making things happen a wee bit more. So yeah, I think it will be interesting to see how they do against Tottenham in this game. But what I think Tottenham have want to watch with is Onana, because they're going to do that all game, and Ange will send 10 guys up there to press him. No bother. All game. 100%. And he'll make subs to make sure he can keep doing it all game. So I think this is going to be the crazy match, if you get me, where it's going to be Ange versus Onana, if you in terms of that press and the style of play kind of vibe,
I fully agree with you there. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm actually, I'll definitely try and watch that one for sure. Alpha Theater to Leipzig is the breaking news, courtesy of Charlie Dunbar.
Yeah. Those were some of the games I was excited to watch, Harry, that I thought we would get into the deadline stream. We've got 50 minutes to rock. What do we do now? I was just going to
say, should we look at the League Cup sort of final? Messi against the Nashville boys? Just on Play Sharp. I mean, why not? Sort of just.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's a squad game. Of course, yes.
Yeah, because the MLS is back this weekend, which is great. But also, we do have the League Cup final.
I can't find it.
Should be in international. Go on international in America, and then it should say Leagues Cup.
Oh yeah,
if that makes sense.
Gotcha. No Willis.
Wait, is it the final or the semis? Am I being stupid?
Looks like a semi. Two teams. I thought it was maybe a third and fourth.
The third and fourth playoff. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the final. Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
The Messi Cup final, and Messi's in it. Who would have thought?
It's mad, mate. Inter Miami have been so bad this year. They've been the worst team in the MLS by a country mile. Okay, Toronto gave them a good run in for that sort of title, but mate, it's just incredible, and it's just to see what I know. There's 3 players that have been added, let's say, but Messi came in on his own for the first couple of games. It's just actually insane to see the effect on a team. What one player realistically can do. I know he's the best player in the world, whatever. You kind of expect him maybe, but it is incredible just to see it happen and how that can actually transpire into turning a losing sort of team for a long time, months and months and months. You bring in the best player in the world and he just switches it. It's just like they've never lost a game before. Is how it seems. It's mental, mate, honestly.
Yeah. It's been crazy. And I think it's all the rest of the players' scores that have been the equally crazy bit as well. The likes of Robert Taylor. Joseph obviously is only going to be just smiling ear to ear with his former Atlanta manager also in the dugout as well. So yeah, I think it's a real sea change, and yeah, they've got to be the favourite to win the Messi Cup. They're not even allowed to play Joe Willison goals for Nashville. They're playing some guy, playing some guy straight out the tuck shop. They've gave jersey Pinocchio, whatever his name is, and then they're allowed to play the rest of their players, which is fine. But Yeah, I don't think Nashville could win this and be the bad guys and all this. They've definitely got the
They
talent.
actually could. Yeah, they do. They could. And it's at home. It's in Nashville. A couple of my friends tried to get tickets because obviously, where I used to live is only like a couple hours away. So they would actually make the trip. I think it was like 450 quid a ticket or something stupid.
Punchy.
Yeah, it was a big one. So, yeah, it's interesting. I still don't see anything other than a Messi win, to be honest. Bookies obviously favour them, which is understandable with the Messi effect and stuff. But other than Mukhtar, man, this team ain't great. Like, if I'm being honest, it's a good MLS team, but it's not good enough to beat Messi and co. I don't think. I really
Yeah.
don't.
Nah. Can it? It'll
But
be,
if
it'll
anyone's
be
going to
funny
do
to
it, it's
see
probably
Hanny
them.
v Busquets, eh? Hanny v Busquets will be a good one.
Busquets will just have him tucked up, I think. In
Aye.
either pocket, whether you want him in the left or the right, or even the back. You could pop it in the back pocket, I think. Busquets will have a breeze, I think. But Hanny is a good little player, isn't he? Decent little
I've
player.
got a game week dilemma for you, Harry, right?
Go on.
So I built my teams on a lineup builder last night, okay, with all the Sorare scouts and managers from around the world, and the help of the Soraredata AI building my best teams for me and help me to prioritize what is actually the best set of combinations and stuff, right? But later that night, like I said at the beginning of the show, I got a message from the Bold and the Pen Feds, which made me want to maybe reprioritize one of my cards, basically, right? So I'm going to show you two sets of teams, and I want you to tell me what set of teams you like better. Okay, and everyone in the live chat can do this as well, right? So set number one is the teams I built last night. So we've got Cap 240, Soria, Maffeo, Illich, Oyarzabal, Braze. Oyarzabal and Braze play together. Champ Euro, Damon in goals, Iglesias, Super John McGinn, Big Eddie, and Mark Rocca. And then Super Rare 220, because we've not got any other defenders. And it's a really tough game week. We've seen the matchups. So I'm not going to go and fight an All-Star or Cap 270. I'll just get slaughtered in there, So I'm going to play 220, play a rare defender. And then that's where Larson would have fitted in there. Because I've got Eddie as the forward and champ. And I had, in Larson's a challenger card anyway. But in 240, we've got some power mids and that's whatever, right? So option one. Option two is rejigging it a little bit. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, wrong button. I stopped sharing rather than share new screen. So option two is then this set of teams. So it's a goalkeeper reshuffle that happens to facilitate cap modes. So the goalkeepers all kind of shuffle around a little bit. And then we swap Braze and Oyarzabal, and we bring in McGinn and Larson into 240. And then basically, that's kind of how the cookie crumbles around it. Oyarzabal, Mark Rocca, you could talk about that decision maybe, but otherwise that's kind of the way they would shake out or shake down.
What about this Iglesias? Is this Iglesias fella going to play?
Yeah.
What? He is going to play, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I like the Champ Europe Super Red team on Soraredata a little bit more because I think Oyarzabal and Bryce Mendes at home to Celta Vigo seems like a decent fixture. Ex-club for Bryce Mendes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I like the captain's choice there. I'm a big omen on ex-clubs and ex-players playing against ex-clubs and doing well. Obviously, Edward got his goal, and they play in Arsenal. Yeah, it's obviously not ideal, but they could score.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Brennan Johnson had a wicked chance on Saturday. He could have scored. I don't know if you've seen it. He's gone clean through on goal. Could have won 1-0 up. Obviously, didn't happen. So, yeah, there'll be chances for Palace. Don't get me wrong. And then you've obviously got... So, Iglesias plays with... Obviously, sorry, I'm guessing. So, you've got a defensive stack there. So, that seems to me that you've prioritized Champ Europe Super A in this screenshot, right? Surely.
Well, the priority lineup would be 240. I think Illich is at home. Yeah, Illich is at home on sets to Cagliari. McGinn's at home to Everton, and Larson's playing a newly promoted team. So that's the firepower team.
But Illich isn't better than Bryce Mendes here.
I would say I would rather have Illich at home to Cagliari than have Braze at home to Celta.
I mean, it's going off the odds. It's not anything in it, if we're being honest. I know that's your opinion, but it's like 4% in it. So that's fair enough. Okay. Oyarzabel's better than John McGinn, I think, as far as the extra for me. Obviously, you can't play Larson in Champ, so The Maffeo one's an interesting one, though. I think that Champ Europe Super Red team has a decent chance of something, if I'm being honest. The Cap 240 might take care of itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the other thing you showed me, I think the Cap 240 was decent, but I don't think the champ as good as that. Yeah, see the Rocker, McGinn, and Finn. I don't like that as much. I think you're better off going for the Soraredata one. It seems like you have two good lineups in that Soraredata one in Champ Europe and Capped, where here it just seems like the Capped. I'll be honest, I don't think that Champ Europe Super is doing anything. That's just me being brutally honest. I don't think. Do you get what I'm saying? I can see Sociedad doing something at home to Celta Vigo, or Oyarzabal and Bryce doing something. Obviously, it's all down to Edouard, isn't it, for being completely honest? If he doesn't score, this lineup's toast. So,
one of the other main things for me is like none of my goalkeepers are particularly great this game week. All the goalkeepers are somewhat dicey.
Soria's decent. I think Soria away to
Girona. But he's away to Girona. He's not going to get, you know. I know he's just had a clean against Barca, right? But
yeah, that don't mean anything. No, I agree. It's not ideal, but I still think he could rake up like 25 AA. And then everyone's saying the 220 on Soraredata is decent as well. Yeah, the 220 on Soraredata is decent as well. But, you know, 220s, there's just not much in there to win, if we're being completely honest. So, you know, I don't really care about the 220. I'm focused on what, you know what I'm saying? What can Quinny win in his 240 Super Rare, obviously the ETH, and then what can he win from Champ Europe Super Rare? And I think a card, obviously. And I think the Soraredata one for me is where things look tastier.
Yeah, I thought that when I went to my bed, and I thought I'll sleep on it. We'll see what all you guys are saying. Isn't Illich on sets? Yeah, Illich is on sets. Option 2. Yeah. That 220 on Soraredata is great as well. Yeah, I think the 220 is still really good.
It is good, but like what I'm getting at is you can't win much from there. So like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just not exciting. Like, if I'm not the team, I just mean the prizes in 220.
No, I get you. So you don't know that till you win it. You don't know that till you win it, but it could be something tasty.
Well, yeah. Was it tier 3 to win it? I mean, it could be okay, but to win it, you have to do well, don't you? You have to put in some serious mileage, like, and I don't know. But they're all at home, so that's one thing I love for sure. I'm a big advocate of the home fixture being being utilised.
I've chopped all of them around now. Now I need to also chop out one more thing. I don't think I'll ask all you guys because you'll have some fun with it, right? So I'm having to drop Bernardo Silva. He was in my cap 240 team, right? And now this is how it's. Oh, sugar! I did that thing again. Oh no, I didn't. I did the wrong. I'm just being silly. So this is how the team now sits. I've got an extra spot. I've got 53 points. Right, so there's nobody that's not been selected. I need to put on another team and then try and work out the training guys and something like that. So, right, not gold. No. How many points have we got? Affordable only as well. Let's do that. Boom. There we go. Right, so we've got Amundsen. We could play him. We've got. I could play Frimpong. He's an under 23 team with Trubin, who's expected to be a DNP keeper. So I could play Frimmers. I could play Amundsen. Could play Savic. The lineup builder was desperate to put Savic and Tavon Gray into teams at every lineup build. It was so annoying. We could play Was. He's not got a great game. We've got Castellanos, by the way. I did kind of write off his potential to get something from the bench in this game. In 240, I probably don't want to take a chance like that, but it's worth mentioning. And then we could maybe take Tanaka out of 2.
Absolutely smashed last week, by the way.
He did.
He scored like 58, didn't he?
Yeah. But that was at home to a rubbish team, you know.
Yeah,
so at home to a rubbish team is versus away to Midgetland. It's two totally different games.
He plays for Bromby, my bad. Yeah, away to Midgetland. Yeah.
So anyone in the chat, feel free, or Harry as well, obviously, feel free to. It feels like Frimmers is the best one to pick, but away to or at home to I don't know. It's a cat player. Let me know what you would do. I've got one more person to pick. You can mainly see who I've got. I'll come back to this. But Harry, I think at this point in the stream, we should definitely be finding out who you're lining up this game week and what your tactics are and what you're thinking the wee opportunities there. I'm thinking, I kind of touched on it last night. I'll just kind of say it to leave off my section, but I'm kind of not shooting for the stars. I think the fixture list is too strong for me, for my super rares and for my pro divisions. I'm not playing any pros. I'll get to maybe the division, everything later, but I'm just going blue and red and just go, hey, let's just have fun. I'm not going to fight for anything too mental.
100%. No, I mean, I'm lucky this week. I do have a few lineups that I'm really excited about. Obviously got my Road to Glory boys. That I'm hoping can win a card for the viewers out there that watch the series. And then it kicks off with the under 23 Super Rare boys who, I'm able to throw out a lineup this week. Labrovic didn't have a fixture last week, so I'm back in the mix. All good fixtures, all at home bar Cisse. Cisse put up like a 30 AA Sunday night away to somebody. Yeah, so I'm quite confident in him. Callum Dawes at home to my boys Cardiff City. I fancy him to do quite well there on AA. Zaidu, I thought was suspended. Did his suspension in the Leagues Cup, so actually played last week. So that was a bit annoying. But I didn't have Labrovic anyway, so I couldn't have utilised him. And the only contemplation I have then, lads, probably, if there is any, is striker. Let me go to used. So Aguirre, the Argentinian league sort of back. He plays on Tuesday. Good fixture at home, but didn't play in the Copa Sudamericana for some reason. They kind of went for like a back five, and he didn't really feature. What do we feel like Toulouse can do at home to PSG? Is that too hard of a fixture for me to really trust Delinga in? Is my issue. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, Yorbe Vitesse comes into the thinking now because Lang apparently isn't going to play for PSV this weekend. Yorbe scored last weekend, played midweek against Strumgrat, played like 86 minutes. So do we think away to Vitesse is good enough to start in this fixture? In this lineup? I think it kind of is in a weird way.
It feels better than at home to PSG. I know Toulouse are pretty punchy in that, but
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I think that's a better game.
And then we have João Mario, who plays for Porto, but he's a right back. So they have an unbelievable fixture, but he's not up the field getting decisive. Realistically, you might get the odd, whips in a cross, but I don't love the thought of that. Basically, I don't. My downfall last year was having him in the lineup, knowing that I have a right back up front. You know what I'm saying? So now I've got rid of that, which is nice. I have options. Do I want to wait till Tuesday, Quinny? Is my issue. I hate players playing on Tuesday. It's the worst feeling ever.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. So basically, for me, it's either.
I wouldn't let that rule your decision, but because who cares about that?
No.
That doesn't mean he plays worse or scores any higher.
Agree. But I am edging towards Yorbe in a weird way. I don't know why. I think the fact that he's got this chance to play if Lang's out. Those players who are just kind of hungry to prove a point to the gaffer. When your massive player's out in Lang, can Yorbe step up? And I think if it was home to Vitesse, I'd love it. I think I'd throw him in. But that's the only thing. The fact that it's away is kind of restricting me. But am I reading into that too much? Ugo says go for Delinga. PSG is rubbish. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Like if Vitesse have got Eloy Rumen goals,
I know.
Okay, a decent enough wee team. Well, I don't know. Yeah, Issama Mirren, he was just in MLS as well, and I'm pretty sure he flopped pretty hard. I'm sure it was him anyway. Maybe it wasn't him. I'm sure he was just in MLS. Marco van Ginkel, he still has ankles and knees, whatever it is that we kept breaking on him. So he still has them. Milian Manov, of course, Sead Hamulovic, decent. Meli Milenstein, decent. Yeah, I think this PSV should be running over them. But again, when do they next play Champions League? That's probably the part of the equation you want for the PSV.
They play Rangers midweek, and the gaffer Peter Bosch said that. Yeah, and Peter Bosch said that Lang. No, okay. Lang said that he said that Lang might not even make that'll be an issue as well. So honestly, mate, I'm tempted to go Yorbe. I really am. 90%. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go Yorbe and then play Aguirre in Capta is probably the. Saying that though, I might.
We didn't see PSG this week, Harry. How can we do a deadline stream without seeing a PSG team?
I know. Away to Toulouse, obviously. I mean, yeah.
Doesn't want to load. Will there be no Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe again this week, or maybe Mbappe's back?
Mbappe, I think, is back. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I could be wrong though.
And what's this team? 240.
This is just Cap 240. Yeah. So Nishikawa has AFC Champions League. That's somehow back. So he plays on Tuesday as well. He played today, then plays Tuesday, which is a random sort of Friday, Tuesday, weird chain of events. But yeah, if I want to play a Gire in here, which I don't have to, I could just go Delinga. But what do we think about this PSG situation, boys? Because if I play Delinga, he has a lower cap than Aguirre, and that means then I can just go and play anyone, I guess, as my extra play in here. I can play a Muzu. I can play, kind of anyone that's under 54, which is basically anyone.
Oh yeah, Danilo Pereira's playing centre back.
He's been. I mean, honestly, I watched the game though. He's sharp. He's still decent.
Oh, Mbappe, Dembele, Ramos expected to play.
I know.
That's
I
punchy.
worry.
All he needs to do is get a goal, mate, and you're fine.
He just needs a goal, mate, doesn't he? Yeah, I know. But then for capped, I like players who have a bit of AA about them, and I think Aguirre does have that.
Yeah.
I know he has that, but then he probably lacks on the decisive side of things. So it's interesting. It's a weird one. It's a weird contemplation. I don't think it really matters too much if we're being like really, really honest with ourselves. I'm just trying to see who do I have in who's under 40. I could go Magnus Mattsson here, and it kind of makes me a little bit happier. They play away to like Hercules, I think. I'm going to go for that. And that just changes my cap to 70 Super Rare, which I'm not worried about, to be honest.
Everyone in the chat is shouting at you to play João Mario in 240.
I'm just not having João Mario as a forward right now. He's only just come back into the side, and he's like 70%. I can't trust him right now. Quinny is basically,
fair enough.
What I want to say, and it's like, do I captain a Muzu or Maya? We'll go a Muzu just in case. Yeah, I want to wait until things are sort of settled because he's been out for so long. I know it's a new season, but even at the end of last season. Anyway, I didn't even get to show you my best lineup. This is the best lineup this weekend for me. It's my best lineup by a mile. I'd say, Real Madrid double stack up front, Santi at home to Minnesota, Balde at home to Cadiz, and then Costa at home to whoever they're playing. That's my bread and butter this week. I think that's where I'm really hoping to get a reward from. This is equally as good, but maybe not as much synergy, I guess. But Pedri, Sekov, Enzo looks amazing from that Liverpool game. Avia tonight, and then Bazunu, decent. Cap 240. I'm playing Thomas Romero. Van Heck, I think, hopefully gets a nod for Brighton. Jimenez, Kulusevski, and Seque. It's a pretty standard team. All-Star Rare is just a bit of a throw-in, but some good players in here. Obviously, the Euro boys. Barreal, captain. Brennan Johnson at home to Chef. Bryce Duke away to Toronto. 270. Again, these are not lineups that I'm really prioritizing. It's just what I've got left, and they just get thrown in. Still some decent boys in there. And then it's kind of, I showed the 240. Yeah, 270, which is Cook plays USG Galois, and I'm a bit worried about his he's susceptible to conceding 3. So this is a thrown together 270 that might do something, might collect me a few coins, and then a little 220 just to finish us off. You got Glue, Emery, a couple of the wonder kids in there just in case they could win us some so coins, mate. But no, I'm really excited. I need to do my academy lineup so before we finish.
You can do academy lineups if you want, and I'll throw this. So I did my lineups last night anyway on a stream. My rares haven't changed, so I can show you anything at the top. But Champ Euro is kind of my priority lineups for rare. I picked this first because I didn't want any of the Champ Euro guys getting selected in the lineup builder and cap and all star. So I built this first, which makes it the priority lineup. It's the one where it's had the most priority above all, is the way I kind of figure that. So I think I've got good guys and good fixtures. I'm kind of crossing my fingers and toes on Savio and Wirtz, just, doing well. Their games are tougher. But Robbo and Limer in defensive midfield is maybe like a poor man's Kimmich and Trent. Isn't it? So yeah, I'm loving a bit of that. High XP collection bonus on Limer as well, which is cool. Robbo's maxed out. All Black's maxed out. So yeah, Captain Wirtz. Let's just see how that pans out. All-Star Rare. The only thing I changed on this versus the AI was Angelino over Maxime Chenot. And I just think Angelino, double check, he's still pretty solid to start because he's just been a nightmare to predict in the first 3 games of his Galatasaray career. But yeah, he's 80% on, so that'll be fine. And yeah, Larson, I was already prioritising him as a forward. I've not got many forwards anyway. Santi Rod, main man when they're firing. And in 270 rare, this is a handcuff situation, right? So I've got Barraza and Freeze. So I've taken Freeze along with Captain Depay into 270, and I've put some NYC cards around it. So if Freeze plays, and if Depay will be on the bench, that might happen. And then if Barraza plays, I've got, where is the team with Barraza in it? I think it's a 240 team. So yeah, I'm covering 240 and 270. One of them will play and hopefully hit. 240, I'm putting more faith in, of course, with Barraza starting. I've got Guardiola on that team and Ladero. I've thrown in Frimmers just for convenience, to be honest. And Magno up front. Not many forwards in rare.
That team's great. That 240 rare is really nice.
Hey, it's killer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good lineup, mate. Really good.
It could go quite far, I'm thinking.
Genuinely, there's some punchy players there.
It's got to be tier 2 capable on the face of it, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Top 20-ish or so. Let's hope so.
Tasty.
And then let's see, these are all academies and stuff like that. I've seen some of the super rare stuff. I've got another 23 team going out just in case Trubin plays. I don't think Ferran starts. I don't think Lino even features, but hey, it's just throwing it out. A wee bit of a coin churner. And if Trubin plays, then I can be kind of happy for a minute before I realise the team's crap. That he's in, one of those ones. So what I've also got with these NYC collections is I've got the limited versions of both the goalkeepers, and I'm using that to kind of, sway the handcuff situation. So I'm using limited Barraza, so I've got a wee bit more faith in him playing over Freeze. Not much, but a wee bit more. And then Gray, Tanaka, Pellegrini, Benkovic. Is Benkovic on to start this game as well? He is. Yeah, good. I thought I'd seen that somewhere. So we've got Benkovic starting in Turkey, which is good fun. And again, this is a 220 team. If Barraza doesn't play, I'm not going to cry that it's failed, And if he does play, then it's like, oh, cool. Let's see how these guys do. And maybe it's something to get halfway excited about. So that's me for rares and stuff. And again, for anyone just joining us, because the viewers have been up quite a bit over the last kind of half an hour or so. But yeah, in 240, my number one team, I want to win my $200. I want to get high in amongst the prize pool in this. I want to get top 15 is what I'm shooting for. Getting amongst the tier 3s or the old tier 2s and above is what I really want to be fighting for there. And I think I've got McGinn, great game at home. Larson, great game. Ivan Illich at home, set pieces. Pablo Maffeo, Mallorca at home. And then Skorupski got a 54 last time he played AC Milan when he was at home. As long as AC don't score 3, I think he'll be okay. His cap's 48. And the Champ Euro team then, it's half Getafe, half Real Sociedad with a unique Edward on top for good measure. So, yeah. I think in this prize pool, like Harry, last week I finished it, I got a tier 5. And I was like maybe 6 points away from the money places. It was really tight, Now this week is totally different. Bayern are smashing fixtures. Liverpool, with we've seen it's going to be way harder. I'm going to need the captain, the unique, and Oya. I'm going to need 5 decisors between the 3 of them at least to think about it. I'm going to need goals galore somewhere for these guys. And then the last priority one is the 220, where we've got some good guys and some good games that could score pretty well. And I know you were kind of poo-pooing this, but like realistically, see if I get top 10, get into the top end of that tier 4, maybe it's halfway worth it. But if I get into top 6, then that's an old school tier 2. That could be something halfway handy,
Some good players in it, don't get me wrong. There is.
Jotas and, Luis Enrique, that'd be a quality card. Harvey Elliott, sure. I've seen Simic. So again, making lemonade this weekend because it's so tough,
Weird competition to do well in 220s. Like, I don't know. It's just like because I don't prioritize them, I think it's just so hard to win, if that makes sense. Which it is because I'm playing my players that just aren't that good compared to the rest of my team. So where the reason I'm getting to that is I'm playing against other users that prioritize 220. Do you get what I'm saying? So there is that sort of I'm coming in from a lower sort of priority list, and I think that's kind of where it bites you on the arse. But your team is a good 5, like it's not a bad 5 at all, so definitely has a chance.
Yeah, I hope so. And then for Road to Glory, we're going to go out there and try and win some cards. I've got Captain Kostic in here with my common Serie A build, and I think a lot of the guys, I'm going to have to swap in Lookman, but otherwise the rest of the guys were here anyway, and I think they're all really good fixtures, could all score really well. We need Kostic, you need the captain to pop in these divisions. top 200 get a card. You only need one limited to compete in it. And if I win something, I give it away to the viewers of the channel. They get involved in the Road to Glory content. We've got 2 entries going at this spot. We've got Captain Magno in here where these MLS players for me on cap mode have been boss, like Burke, Acosta, and Almada especially. And I've just been rotating and interchanging players around them. And it's always got a puncher's chance. And again, top 200 get cards here. And with Captain Magno, we're loving it. So I think that kind of rounds me off for the game week, certainly, of all the kind of runners and riders and things I've got on it. Otherwise, it's just training and such, Harry boy. But I'm relatively optimistic it's going to be a decent game week for me. And one thing I did notice, do we still have it? Oh, not in that one. Do we have it? Oh, no, we don't. So see, in one of the combinations of my super rare teams, the fixtures went Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
I had one guy in every game kind of thing. But now it doesn't work like that. Not that that's important, but it was kind of cool. But no, it's just Monday nights and they're all broken up now. So I've got a Friday night here, a Monday, 2 Fridays and a Monday. 2 Fridays and 2 Mondays in this team, Jesus. And the 240, that'll be fun. 2 tonight and 2 on Friday and Monday, and then begin on Sunday. So yeah, a lot of good action to watch this week as well. Harry, will you be watching much yourself?
Yeah, I've got bits to watch. I've got a couple players playing tonight, to be fair. I've got Matson playing tonight, it seems, and Balki playing in Turkey tonight. So yeah, a couple of bits tonight, and then I've got a game tomorrow myself. So I won't be able to play or watch anything at, like, say 2:30ish. But yeah, in the evening, I'm sure I'll be able to watch a few games. I'm just seeing now Forest play tonight, which is interesting. So that'll be a nice little watch.
That'll be good for you. Your cards.
Yeah, Barca Sunday. When the Real play, they play at 6:30. Yeah, I'll definitely try and catch the Real Madrid game then. Yeah, no, I'm excited, to be fair. It's jam packed. I'm just buzzing to just get more than 2 or 3 lineups out, because I'm very streamlined normally. So it's just nice to have things, even though they probably don't even have a puncher's chance, to be honest. It's just nice to see teams, see lineups.
Yeah,
see cards visually. It's a weird one, but yeah, no, I'm excited for sure.
Big time. It's going to be a good game week. A few of the guys I've caught, Cravadonna, I actually seen him in the Predicted 11 earlier, not been in it, and I didn't even click. So thanks for the shouts there. I've just swapped him for Coop Miners, who I had as well. And I've not been playing Berardi because he's going to Juve, but I'm going to keep the Berardi common for now, because if he does play for Juve before the new season thing, I want to have that Berardi common still locked in the club, So,
clever.
Oh, he's down to play. Is that what you're telling me? Sorry. Oh, so if he is down to play, he's at home to Atalanta. It's not a great game, but it is Berardi, and maybe it's his farewell game. You saying, sorry?
We've held on to first place.
Yes, Harry boy.
Yeah, we've held on, mate. I spent I spent like 80 quid on. I bought that Lukian fellow I captained for like 60 quid. Kanamori for 17 quid. I had the rest of the players, to be fair. And yeah, mate, that's a star rare. I know it's only in Asia, so there's literally only like 5 players I can get. It's like, who is it? It's Kim Jong, the goalie I already have, the John Buck goalie. Yeah, Hoon, Osako, Makawa, Schultz, which would be really nice. I'd love a Schultz because I have obviously the rest of the Euro boys. That'd be great. And then obviously these 2 goalies, and then big bum down here, which wouldn't be ideal. If I can have anyone from the top,
you have to get.
Yeah, I'd love Schultz. Because I've already got Kim, obviously. Osaka will be interesting as far as, another goalie. I would just sell him. I don't need another goalie, which I'm in a good position to say. But yeah, Schultz, I'd honestly keep, because I don't really have any, like, I don't have anyone over under 23 that's like, wow, I definitely want to play you in All-Star. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any outfielders I can do that with. I'm building something, obviously, with the Euro collection, and he would be great for that because I would get first owner, wouldn't I? Which would be big. And then it'd just be great. That'd be, honestly, that'd be, I'd love that. I'd be really, really happy with that. And it's just nice not winning a goalkeeper sometimes, especially when you've sort of covered goalkeepers. If you've got enough, it's a nice position to be in. And yeah, mate, I'm just buzzing because I set out, like, I had a strategy. I was like, okay, who can I buy this midweek that can kind of punch for me in Champ Asia? Because I had a feeling that this team wouldn't do anything in gas, which on the surface of things, 335 points definitely wouldn't do anything in gas. So I just swear, I just zigged when everyone sort of zagged, because all the boys obviously are Champ Asia boys. So why wouldn't I go over there and just compete with less players? And it's not rocket science, but sometimes you just gotta play within your means. I think I've said that for a long time on Sorare. I think you just got to realize where you can and can't compete. And Sam says, Harry and I have had similar midweeks. I've won £4 in academy. I've almost won £4 in academy with all these boys playing. I've never won an academy £4, so I'm hoping for the day, or hoping that day eventually comes. But yeah, appreciate that, Coltrane. The congrats and stuff. And yeah, no, it'd be nice. I don't know do I do a stream? Yeah, I might do a little.
Oh, of course you have to, mate.
Stream. Yeah, I have to, don't I?
You have to open that on a stream, Harry. Of course you do. Or you need to record it. You need to.
No, I'll definitely need to stream it, 100%. No, I'm excited. I'm excited for this game week. I still need to do my academy lineup. Sorry, I got distracted then.
That's okay. I'm just filling out comments, so I've got the screen now. You can knock yourself out.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to swap out. I've just realised I've got no French defenders, because the French defenders I had have left the league, so I've got no comments. So I'm having to swap 2 in. Do we reckon Gigo is going to maybe take Gigo and Mbemba? And then, that's too expensive. Is Gigo playing? This is the first game of the season. What am I thinking? And then how many points do I have left? 42. Let's take Gigo. Or do I want Mbemba? I think I want Mbemba more than Gigo, don't I? So let's take Mbemba. And then Tagliafico. Can we afford both of them? Yeah, we can. Sorted. We've had Tagliafico before. So Chevalier. I'm going to go Mbemba. Bourgeois. I've not even checked if any of these guys are playing, but I'm just locking them in for the good time.
What do you think of Arsene Zakarian's move to Sorare?
Oh, it's going to be brilliant, mate. It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait. He plays. I think part of the problem with that team, well, I was really not excited. As far as Brais Mendes goes, David Silva retiring was a godsend for him, because he just should get more minutes, more sets, etc. But with Zaki, he can play wide as well. So in the wide positions, there's been Oyarzabal, Takikubo, and then not much else. I tried to get some academy guys through. So I could see between him and Brais, I could see them filling in wide positions, and maybe it depends where they see Zaki playing. But I think you'll get significant minutes. He might not always be a starter, but I don't see any reason that he doesn't do well.
Okay, fair play. Yeah, that makes sense. Griezmann. Griezmann.
Right, so hoping to get some comments out there. I'm just locking all these wee teams in, and then that'll be us locked and loaded for the game week. We've got 15 minutes to go. Anyone that is joining us live, obviously feel free to let us know what you're doing this game week, where you're prioritising. Are you zigging and zagging and doing all that fun stuff, or what? Look at that common team. That's a really good common team. High XP as well, all over the place. Almada away to Seattle, or Lucho. We're probably going to take Joseph as... No, I'm going to take Lucho as captain. And then Prem. Oh, this is where the fun one, the Prem, right? So what? Get Ederson at home in Newcastle. That's not that great. And Sam Johnson at home at Arsenal. Maybe Ederson will be okay. Van Dijk at home at Bournemouth is boss. And then, I've got Palace versus Arsenal in midfield, both sides of it. I think Saka's safe enough to take. I think Haaland is safe enough to take. And then, I could probably play Son again against Man United. And that's the same team I played last week, really. But I think if I captain Son, and then I'm backing Spurs to beat Man United there, and Son to be a part of that. And then if there are other guys who do their bit, maybe that team could do something. And then Serie A, we'll put Mignan, Ricardo, Coop, Berardi, and Adamola. And probably Captain Berardi, since it's his last game. I know they're all playing each other. And then, that'll be us all locked and loaded. Ready to rumble for the game week.
Is Celtic back next weekend?
Yes.
Right?
Home at St Johnson, which Ian Sorare won't be happy for me to say is it's an OP fixture. Should be very, very good. And then the weekend after that, we play Rangers, and Rangers will just be off the back of 2 legs with PSV. So it's going to be a good couple of weeks. Berardi has dropped to 35% now. I better not. See, as long as I've not got him in that amateur, as long as I've not got him in that Road to Glory team, I'm not going to bother with it too much. I can't be gassed. But where the hell is that semi-pro team? Did we have him in that? Yeah, we did. We'll put Coop in. We'll put Coop Miners in. So I'm not going to trade him out because he's got too high XP. I want to keep him and Cravadonna, so I'm not going to make any more swaps. But we'll just put Coop in there for safety. For King Coop.
Yeah.
Can I get your opinions on my team? Dream apart. Let's hear it, my man. Guess who swapped out Common and Mbappe last week? Jamie Howard. You. I'm guessing you did. I swapped Messi for Mbappe as soon as I could before the points maybe changed it, so it wasn't possible. Henry, sorry. Sorry, I'm praying for Leeds to find form. Bought a Leeds collection at the start of the season. Lucas, my thoughts and prayers are with you there, buddy. All training lineups for Liam King. He's a Celtic Scottish League gallery. I know that. And yeah, we're definitely going Angelino versus Trabzonspor. And do you need to add a CB to your Ghent stack? I'm probably going to say no if it's because you're waiting on Angelino. Right, okay, so Dream Apart has Pavlenka against Bayern Munich, mate. I'm going to say you're screwed. You've conceded 3 goals on arrival. So there we go. That's your teammate. Sorry, I hope it's cap 240 you're going for, and you've got some smashers because Pavlenka and goals is a nightmare this week. I kept Messi and used him in 220 limited. Score, I love that.
That's class.
What a play. You would be surprised if Berardi stayed at Sassuolo. Neither would I. I thought if he was to leave Sassuolo, it would be for Milan. Very surprised if he does go to Juve, but it seems like it's going. Jonathan's get 26 teams lined up.
Wow, that's insane.
And Dream Apart's got his full team here now. So we've got Pavlenka, we've got Juninho in defence. I think is that a Midgetland guy? Olsen, Kakare, and then Van Krooi. That's All-Star Limited. That's pretty good, mate. But I think Pavlenka is a huge handicap this week. Sorry, mate. Unless he pulls out a World Day and does a Jan Sommer performance.
Coltrane says Pavlovic, Decipher, and De Ligt best under 23 defender. I've gone Pav. Oh, you mean like to play this weekend or just in general, Coltrane?
I didn't see Salzburg on the thing, but they're never bad, are they? You know,
they're away to somebody. They're definitely
away. Kuiper showed up in one of the best games.
I would say this weekend. I honestly, Pav's third in that list for me. It's hard to say between Decipher and De Ligt. Decipher's a bit more punchy because he can get those decisives. Not to say that De Ligt can't. Gun to my head, yeah, it's Maxime for me.
Great yield there from Liam King and his Hearts SR collection over the last 3 weeks. Great to hear, mate. Fist bump to you, 3R Max. Thanks for joining us. I got second place in Cap 220 using that mess. I fucking love that, by the way. The Kane is going to eat Pavlenka alive. Yeah. Away to Hartberg is Salzburg. That's goals galore. I don't think maybe Pavlovic can get in on the act. That's what I'm praying for. A Jan Sommer performance. And Show Shix has got a team. Guys, this is probably the best way to finish the stream up, but throw your teams in. Me and Harry have a wee chat about them as we get towards the deadline. Yeah. But Show Shix has went with Mamardashvili. I don't remember who Valencia have, but they're not playing anyone amazing. Marcano from Porto, Otavio, still at Porto, Taremi Porto, and Alfonso Davies. That's a really nice team, Show Shix.
Decent team. Very decent team.
Brest stack against Le Havre. And then 3 Leon boys, Barcola, Cherky, and Kakare, and U23 this week from Padagul. Some nice lineups.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Lads, I have gone with your advice with the Jean Mario shout. I'm going to play him instead of Aguirre in Cap 240. Yeah. I've got a weird feeling. I think the matchup's too good. I'm being stupid. Like, I know he's playing right back. I only need 10, 15 points out of him, Quinny, realistically. As far as, just get the cap. That team's never winning anything as far as cards in Cap 240. I'm really happy if I can just scrape ETH. And I think, in a weird way, Mario might just get me over the line a little bit more than Aguirre will. So, we've gone with that. Just cheeky little update.
And is our Is there nowhere else you could play Aguirre then? Is he not free to play somewhere?
No, not really, because I could play him in Cap 270 over Delinga, but is there much different? I don't care about the lineup if I'm being honest. Like Cook's going to concede 3. Like, that's just the way it's probably going to go. And yeah, he can't really play anywhere else if I'm being honest. There's just all rare lineups after that. So yeah, a bit disappointing I can't get much utility out of him, but yeah, it is what it is, and yeah, it's all good.
Nice. Well, yeah, good move. Unfortunate on the Aguirre. We've got a lot of teams coming in, so let's see. We'll get through these, and I'll probably take us to the end anyway. Dream apart, yeah. Fixtures are all brutal for you, I think. Join the club, mate. They're brutal for us all this week, so we're all crossing our fingers and holding on tight for this one. Morris Fusions has got a challenger team here of Adan, Otamendi, Baha, Kokchu, and Tadic, all 11% bonus. Tadic on 32 with the captain. That's a punchy, rare team, isn't it?
That's huge. Yeah. It'd be nice if you had a DCS, to go with the bar situation. But who is Sporting playing, actually? That's a good.
They were right at the very end of the matchup screen as we left it. I think they've got somebody like Casapia. They've still got a good game, but just wasn't as good as, it was real top end quality in the matchups tab this week, I felt.
It was, mate. It really was.
Coltrane, Ter Stegen, De Ligt, FDJ, Musiala, and Rodrigo in Champ. It's a high caliber team, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's naughty. Really good. Musiala 80 plus coming. Easy.
Marcinur plus Petrot, Etienne, okay, nice differential. King Reynoso, Savarino, and Imran Louza gambling on LA weather. Yeah, I was going to say, watch out for all that stuff that's going on in America with that. But yeah, Imran Louza, man, the stats on him that I was crazy.
He's class. He's so good. Such a good player for Watford. What do we think of Scott Twine? Any championship lovers? He's gone to Hull on loan from Burnley. Set piece taking midfielder. Decent player, mate. Can wrap a free kick. I like him a lot. Yeah, he's a good player. Really, really good. Yeah, season once I think it was in League One for maybe Swindon. His stats on SofaScore were he literally getting 9s every game. You get the match rating. He was on flames a couple of years ago when he's a bit younger. But yeah, great player.
Some nice teams coming in here as well. We've seen Germ. He's going with the Providel in goals. I'm very interested to hear what you think about the Hugo Lloris rumours. Nathan Silva, Kebble, Cherny, Petretta. I think I'm saying that right. Lou, maybe? Lou or you? Allison, Trent, Douglas Luiz, Salah, and VVD. So that's all Liverpool with Douglas Luiz in midfield. That's a nice team. And Weasel Mount's going Understyle, Proper, Tom High, and then Hong. I'm not too sure who Hong is. Maybe it's Chong. And Kuiper's favourite lineup for you, Weasel Mount. That's a good one, mate. Ross Irvine has gone All-Star Unlimited. Casio, Robertson, Olsen, Arnold, Max Arnold, nice, and Cecilia. 240 here. We've got Blake, Elliot, Gazdag. Nice teams all around, guys. Mickey Flynn is playing the Yanez SR. He's playing Yanez SR Anderson that we Mickey Flynn got that on a member stream where we're doing a gallery review. Julian Brandt, Daniel Mallon, and Tom High. He's going D3 with one super rare. That'll be his first adventure up there. Good luck, Mick. I hope Anderson against Arsenal does reign it. Sold Audi as Fink Trubin is in number 1 spot in the next 2 to 3 weeks. In market was only dropping on Audi. Morris, yeah, I'm kind of with you there.
Fair enough. Yeah, makes sense.
Good team here from Charlie Dunbar as well, going for 240. Masip, Sequay, De Kuiper, Gordon, and Almiron. So he's obviously back in Newcastle this week.
Love that.
Twine has to bang, surely.
Yeah, he has a good chance to, Lucas, definitely. I think great pedigree.
Good comment here from James Allen. Looks very good, but needs a lot more game time to get the confidence up.
Agree. Yeah, he's been injured for a while and hadn't really broken into that Burnley side over the last year or so.
Another loser in this team here for James Allen. He's went with Backman as well for the Watford effect. Gabriel Sara and Ashley Barnes. Good championship makeup there. Juju, Providel, Romagnoli, Ladero, Jordan Morris, I'm guessing, and Immobile. That's a good team. Immobile. And this is an academy team Hugo's given us Benitez, Hierro, Veron, Platini, Van Basten. Give me those $500. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's Hong Gent. Got you, Weasel Mount. Nice. And Morris Fusions has lost 2 keepers in the last week to Courtois and Roulé. That is a pain.
Lads, can I just say I've just had a message in somewhere that the Defensia, the Defensia team plays for their game's cancelled against Godoy Cruz. So you've got 2 minutes to take out those players now. If you've got a chance. So yeah, Defensia versus Godoy Cruz is cancelled. I don't know why. So yeah, I won't be able to give you the answer. All I know is cancelled.
Watch out, guys. Last minute breaking news as ever on the deadline stream. Defensia La Plata game is off. If you ever try to be one of those alternate stackers, tough beans, the weatherman's got you. You are out of there. Get them into the academy quickly, get them some XP. And Santai's
not Santos role. Yeah, no, defense. That's the Sam. Sam's got it.
Defense Justia. What did I say? Defensia La Plata. So Defensia Justia.
Yeah, is that La Plata's Defensia is like the green and yellow team.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that just
you're on about like the bluish team. Yeah.
So it's 2 Justias. I thought we only had one. I knew there was more than one, but I thought we only had one. But there we go. Learn something new every day.
Every day. I only know because I have a player from Defensia, to be honest. So yeah.
Vanaken is still ill. Right before the deadline. Final seconds. If you have a Vanaken. He is ill.
Some ibuprofen down him. He'd be fine. Get him some ibuprofen.
Just seen that the Galaxy, this is the way I read this, right? Just seen Galaxy and LSC game could be off because of Hurricane McBride. Tweeted it.
Yeah, it's like a category 4 something. I just saw the tweet. I don't know. It's something to do with
Hurricane McBride. That's the name of it, Tweeted it.
Spin-off channel, Hurricane McBride.
We need Hurricane McBride to go through some of those games with the big stacks in it and get them taken off for sure. But yeah, man, Harry, I've had a great one. Good luck to you this game week. We are locked in for the weekend game week. I've not even numbered it. It is game week 399.
Yeah, 400 next week or next midweek.
Good luck to everyone, and we'll see you on the podium. Harry,
yeah, massive
good luck, mate.
Thank you, mate, and yourself.